Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Dear Work Wives. I'm Adrienne,
And I'm Emily.
and we're here to help you create work environments that just don't suck so much.
I should have worn my shirt. Anyway, next week.
Merch.
Our merch, my
It
merch.
says, work cultures that don't suck.
Yeah. I'm going to get one made in every
More?
color. I don't remember.
Good. So what's going on?
What is going on? Nothing really. It's almost Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, so I'm about to have a 4-day weekend, which I'm very excited for that. It's Indigenous Peoples Day in the United States and realistically also Canada, because that's what we should be observing. So we're about to have
live after that, right? So
after it, yeah, a few weeks after. So
okay.
Yeah,
so
we're about
to almost Halloween when this goes live. I need to figure out when.
You know what? I think we're almost halfway to Halloween when this goes live. I think it goes live on the 18th. So.
Oh, okay. Almost your birthday then.
It will be almost my birthday. Yeek! Exciting.
So exciting.
Yeah. So that's there's not much going on around here. We're living the fall dream. It's gorgeous here.
Love that for you.
You should come.
I know. Lots going on over here. When we're recording this, I'm actually traveling today. So I'm actually wearing jeans, Emily. I'm going to the airport, but I'm wearing jeans. And I want to say this is the one thing that I really appreciate about the Gen Z, baggy jean trend, is that they're way more comfortable than wearing skinny jeans or something on a airplane.
Yeah.
I would never.
I remember last episode, I was I'm wearing jeans right now. They were comfortable. Yeah. They were baggier and they were comfortable for sure. So
these are comfortable. They're soft and they're not tight on me.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe jeans weren't the problem. Maybe it was
skinny jeans. I know. The problem is going to be what shoes are we wearing in winter with these baggy jeans in Canada?
Sneakers.
No, I can't wear sneakers in the winter, Adrienne. There's 4 feet of snow outside.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I have winter boots on.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean, because I've never lived that life. Even when I've been in cold environments, sneakers were still appropriate. So
right.
Or yeah, because I wasn't trudging through the snow.
Exactly.
So is that what you guys do? You have to walk through the snow a lot?
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot.
So do you need snow boots?
I have snow boots. Yeah. I have tall calf high Sorels winter boots.
So can we put those I feel like we could put those under the baggy jeans.
But then the bottom, so oh my gosh, you are so not a cult. So this was the problem with flare
jeans you have to tuck the jeans
have to tuck the jeans in, because when we were children all wearing flare jeans, you would wear them out and then the bottoms get wet and then it slowly starts climbing up the jean and then they freeze because it's so cold outside, and then they freeze like a bell shape, and then in class they start thawing and dripping on the floor.
Stop. No. Okay.
Yeah. They need to be tucked in.
I have had the issue in Florida with the bell-bottom jeans or
getting wet,
baggy jeans, where they get too wet on the bottom. If
yes.
It's rained or something, and then you're stepping on them and they're wet, and then it starts to creep up.
Yeah.
But that's where the problem ends, right? It's never been it refreezes and then it's thawing and then it's dripping.
Right.
No, never had any of that. So.
No. And they don't fit under snow pants. I can't wear these baggy jeans under my snow pants.
We're tucking the baggy jeans into the boots.
I'm wearing leggings is what I'm wearing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you wear leggings.
Yeah. And if I have to go out and do something where I want to be wearing denim, it can't be on a day where I have to trudge through the snow also. Because I don't trudge through the snow every day, If the plows have been out, I'm fine. Yeah, it's just I already have flashbacks to being a youth wearing these style of pants and how awful they were in the winter.
So skinny jeans obviously work better for that.
Yes. But really I'm wearing leggings. I'm wearing leggings for sure. I'm not wearing skinny jeans. I'm you get the same. I never understood this. Okay, when it came to skinny jeans versus leggings, how like leggings are not appropriate be like to wear, like you have to have your butt covered. It's the same shape and thin material as
Yeah.
skinny jeans, so I never understood why skinny jeans were acceptable but leggings were not when it came
Like they're
to like the length of
basically
your shirt.
leggings, but they're blue.
But they're blue and have a hard waistband, so no, it's a no for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
also
feel like I'm
somebody,
always wearing now that's the style. I mean, maybe this is not the style, but I always try to like have something oversized covering my butt anyways if I'm wearing leggings.
I mean, like I try but I don't always succeed, you know. Because also I can't have this massive, huge, oversized sweater under my winter coat.
Oh. I don't
It's
think
a whole
winter's
different
for
world
me.
up here.
I know, I don't think it's for me. It
No, I don't
seems
think it
like
is.
a bad
So I don't
thing.
think you're going to enjoy living in Colorado.
Oh no. I'm gonna summer there.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, this really
Yeah,
changes things for me, you know?
I know. Winter is a whole other beast in terms of what to wear, you know?
Clothing.
The wardrobe as a Canadian that I need to carry is so massive that I have to empty my drawers and closets of summer clothes and winter. Like I have to physically take things out and swap them. I mean, I don't have a big closet, don't get me wrong, but the
Where do
clothes
you
that
put
I
them?
under my bed in like a storage box, or actually I'll have like another, James has like his a little tiny closet and I like take things out and put them in there. That's where his keeps his work uniforms.
Yeah.
I will wear a piece of clothing in the summer and will not even remember its existence until the next summer because I have a completely different wardrobe from season to season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you find that you tend to buy more like classic things then versus trendy things because it seems expensive?
It's very expensive. When people come around with like, this is what's in this year, I'm like, I haven't worn my boots in 6 months and they're fine. I'm not getting new boots just because
Right, I'm
like a
not like
slightly different
buying new.
heels and style this year. You know?
Yeah.
I don't care. Like I will
Yeah, because you
wear,
already have to buy like, multiple
right.
seasons worth of clothing
Yeah.
that don't really transfer from season to season. So I'm not buying new clothes every season just because the last ones went out of style.
Right. Or like, you know, how every year there's a new white sneaker that's like the it sneaker. I can't keep
Yeah.
up with that. My white sneaker will go away and it will come back out in April. So,
Yeah.
it's fine.
I mean, I've been like, I really like sneakers lately, but I still don't wear them that often. And probably because it's so hot here
You
that I
wear
usually just
sandals.
end up wearing like flip flops when I walk
Yeah.
out of the house. Like I just wear sandals. And so most of the shoes that I have in my wardrobe, I feel like similarly, I only wear like a couple times. Or if I'm actually going somewhere
Mhm.
where I've put together an outfit, like out for a mom's dinner or
Yeah.
to, like I'm not getting dressed. And maybe that's my problem is like I'm not getting dressed
Yeah.
ever.
No.
I should work
Same.
on that. Like I'm always just like sliding out the house and my sandals are right there by the door. And so I put them on, but it's not like
Yeah.
a full outfit.
No. Never.
No.
Jean
I mean, all I
shorts,
do is go pick
tees.
up my child. I pick up my kid from school.
Mhm.
I go to the store, like the grocery store,
Yeah.
and then I go to like Target for some things.
Yeah.
But those are really the only destinations that I have,
Mhm.
which is sad
Well,
or delightful.
we're delightful. Gratitude. I think that's great.
Yeah.
The fact that you get to go to Target and Trader Joe's is great. I think you should
It's
enjoy
great.
that.
But today I'm going to the airport.
Yes.
Next week I'm also going to the airport.
I
So,
know. And none of those flights are taking you here.
it's really criminal.
It's problematic, really.
I know.
I have words of frustration, just so you know.
I'm
I'll
sorry.
keep them to myself because you're allowed to
Just
do other
wanted to
things.
update you on the Halloween costume
Right.
situation over
Yep.
here as we
Yep.
get closer to Halloween. We've rotated through a lot of ideas. Kit has,
Yep.
First it was Elsa. She was going pretty strong on that. Then she switched over to Rapunzel, which was going to be great for me because we already have a Rapunzel costume. I was like, yeah, you can be Rapunzel. That'll be a great idea. So I was really trying to push that one. Then she I don't know, decided she wanted to be a skeleton. And I thought that was a good one too, because then the whole family could be skeletons. Easy
Easy
peasy.
peasy.
Love it. Well, then she wanted Monsters Inc. because she was watching that movie. So she was going to
Boo.
be Boo with the little
So cute.
pigtails, and we were going to be the monsters. So cute. Quickly moved away from that. Now she wants to be a blankie, like a blanket.
Right. Yes, I have heard this update. Mm-hmm.
And that's where we stand. So that's tragic for me in Florida, because what am I going to do? Wrap her up in a blanket?
Yep.
Give her a sandwich board with a blanket on each side?
Yeah. It sounds great to me. Sounds free to me. I just spent $50 on Oakley's Halloween costume, so. And I haven't even gotten Lila's yet. Yeah, he's the Red Ranger. He wants to be the Red Ranger from Power Rangers, so. Although this year, for the first time ever, the new season of Power Rangers, the Red Ranger is a girl. Because that's the lead ranger, right? Red Ranger's always in charge. It's a girl now. So I'm like, yay. But it's fine.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. He's like, Red Ranger's in charge, so he wants to be red. So anyway.
Me too.
Well, keep us updated, because I don't think the blankie thing is really going to fly. Like, I don't think that's what's going to stick. We need to influence her. So let's send her some other pictures and influence her.
I know. Her friend, we went to dance class this week, and her friend asked her, what are you going to be for Halloween? I asked her friend, I said, what are you going to be for Halloween? And she says, I'm going to be a princess. And I was like, oh, so cute. And then she said, what are you going to be? Asking Kit. A blankie. And I was like, oh my God.
She's so cute, though.
So cozy of you, but just
so hot.
Really hot.
That's a great Halloween costume for here, though, because usually we have to wear our snowsuits under our Halloween costume.
But like, how do you even represent a blankie without, like, do I just like wrap her up in one and then people are gonna know she's a blankie? No one's gonna know. People are gonna think she's a burrito.
Yeah, or like you didn't get her a costume, so
yeah.
Just tell her she's gonna look like a ghost, so she should pick something else.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you. I'll report back on where we land.
I know. I'm really invested in this journey. I need to know.
Shall we story?
Yes. And before we get into it, I just want to say that someone submitted a really good comment, and I totally get them, of like, can we timestamp when the stories start versus... So that if they're in a rush, no, she's like, if we're just in a rush, and she's like, the value you give is so good, and I want to get, sometimes I just want to get to that part, and I totally respect that. So
That's a nice way of saying you guys are really boring, but yeah.
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna take the positive spin as like, I don't always have an hour to listen to a podcast. Sometimes I want to get to the value of it. So I'm gonna start timestamping our podcasts where the stories start. In the show notes.
That's kind of you.
I thought so. I mean, I just feel like, I want to chit chat and I don't want to lose listeners. So this, I think, is a happy compromise.
I agree. I wanted to talk about one thing before we story.
Okay.
So I saw this post from this guy who is in the internet marketing world and had a webinar recently, and everyone was talking about it. Okay. His name is Alex Hermosi. Do you know this name?
No. So not everyone was talking about it. No, not everyone who matters, unless maybe this is a good thing. So
yeah. Well,
then
he
I
has
retract
a
my
book
sass.
called My New Book, $100 Million Leads, is now live. Like, he has a very successful business. I think he makes a lot of money, whatever. I don't care. But he posted this thing, which I just wanted to comment on because I just want to say, choose your mentors wisely.
Yes, 1000%. Could not agree more.
He said, I'm sure this will piss people off. Yeah, me. He said, you don't need a weekend. The concept is barely 100 years old.
I hate him.
It's a modern invention. What you really need is work you don't need a weekend from. You'd be amazed how much faster you get to your goals when you don't go backwards 104 days per year. Contrary to what the mediocre masses will tell you, weekends can also be for work.
Mediocre masses? He is dead to me. That is so harmful. I'm so triggered right now. And I have actually been trying to remove that word from my vocabulary because I think I overuse it. I am like so triggered. That is the most harmful, terrifying, horrible advice I have ever heard anyone give in my entire life.
To entrepreneurs.
To entrepreneurs,
right?
yeah, like in this business space.
Yeah, which to me is problematic for a multitude of reasons, right? Like number one, because burnout, mental breakdown, suicide rates.
It's an epidemic.
It's an epidemic, especially in the entrepreneurial space. Like, we don't need more people thinking, oh, I just need to work weekends and then I'll be able to hit my goals. Like, because it also is not true, right?
No.
Like, working more does not necessarily help you reach your goals. I would actually argue the opposite, right? Like, you need the clockwork philosophy of start removing yourself so that you're not the bottleneck. Start using that free time to come up with better ideas. Like, you need that design time. You need to be the visionary. You don't need to be working in order to reach your goals.
Right.
And if this is the message we're preaching to entrepreneurs, what do you think they're going to create in terms of the cultures that they have for their team members, right? If the expectation is that I work every weekend and every waking minute of my day, well, that means I'm probably going to push my team members a hell of a lot harder too, right?
Yeah.
And it's just not the world I want to live in. It's honestly very sad to me that this person has such a sad life that like work is the only thing that you would like to do with your hours.
I hate it. I hate him. I'm not in the cult, so I can say like I don't like him, and I think that's, I don't have to be politically correct and say like, oh, it's like, no, this is,
I don't know him.
Horrible advice.
I don't like him, and I think it's obviously meant to trigger us, like even say contrary to the mediocre masses will tell you, like trying to build this cult where you feel like you're a part of something that's not mediocre. The other people are mediocre, but if
this
you
is
like me,
what's that, LPN or NPL or LPZ or
NLP.
This is like reverse psychology. Like, honestly,
pretty dangerous.
It's so dangerous. It's honestly so dangerous because, like, for example, at Clockwork, we have a lot going on right now, and some of it was time sensitive. So this weekend, I put in a couple hours on Saturday and Sunday just to kind of, sometimes I get in these moods where I'm like, if I can just bang these few things out, I'm going to be setting myself up for success. I'm like, these are above and beyond tasks. They're out of the norm and they just need to get done. So I will put in hours like on a Friday night or on the weekend because I just want to get it done. And let me tell you, it sucks because like when I like wake up on a Saturday or Sunday morning and think, okay, I want to try to put 3 to 4 hours of work in. And I also want to go for a walk because I'm a walker, and I want to play a game with my kids. And like, I have a chapter, I want to read a couple chapters. That's the whole day gone. And then I cry. So I just cannot subscribe to anyone who thinks like that is how life should be lived.
Right.
What is the least amount possible that I can work and still hit my goals and have joy? Mm-hmm. That's my goal.
So like, part of what he's saying is like, how can you build work that you enjoy? And like that, kudos. Like
I love my job.
How can you create work that you actually enjoy? But that does not mean that you need to overwork just because you like your work. I would actually say that if you overwork, even on work that you like, you will end up hating that work.
Yeah. Like you're going to resent it. And the time
like
it takes.
Cake.
Yes.
It's like the chocolate cake from Matilda, right? Like I like chocolate cake, but when I'm forced to eat a whole chocolate cake, I don't like it so much anymore.
No.
Like, I don't want any more. So I just think it's really dangerous advice. So I just wanted to share that, like, that triggered me, and
obviously it triggered me. My heart is pounding.
Just be mindful of who you listen to. Even if they're successful, that does not mean that that's the path that you should follow.
Yes, I just saw a clip of like Matthew McConaughey rapping his children's book on Jimmy Fallon, and one of the lines was like, just because you won doesn't mean you're right, or something like that, or doesn't mean you did it right. And I'm like, It was actually, I really want to buy this book because I think it has a lot of good messages. But anyway, I was just like, dang. No.
I also
Just,
loved that he knew the whole children's book.
I know. I'm going to try to find the link. I'll put it in the show notes because the whole message everyone should listen to. Just because, yeah.
Yeah.
It sounded incredible. But anyway, I think if that's how you want to live, yeah, he has kids, lots of cute kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
How many kids?
Lots. I don't know. He's hot and his wife's hot, so I would imagine lots.
I thought you said lots, so I thought like, oh wow.
I don't know, like a couple. I don't know. Like I feel like I've seen some like him with a gaggle of kids, and they're just like genetically perfect. And him and his wife. So
I'll Google it after.
Yeah. So if that's how you want to live your life, like sure, but like don't like tell people that's the only way.
No, because it's not.
It's not. It's definitely not. So.
Sounds very unhealthy.
Yeah.
We'll see where he's at in a few years in terms of his mental health.
Right. Like, I hope you got a therapist on speed dial.
He has children or something that, makes him realize that there is more to life than just your work.
Yeah. Or literally anything. Yes, children, but like a hobby, a pet.
Yeah.
The experience of traveling the world or volunteering your time and making a difference in more ways than just like generating $1 million.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Well, let's get into these stories before my eyes start twitching. Okay. I mean, it's already twitching.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You want me to read it?
Sure, go for it. I feel like you're the story reader.
This one is from Vicious Cycle, and they say, I have a staff member who is wonderful. They're good at their job. You can trust them with any project. They have tons of experience. Clients love them. All around good human. They're very anxious about losing their job. Once again, they are wonderful. We love having them on the team, but they always think that I'm going to fire them. They will send me text messages saying things like, sorry, I'm a disaster, or you can get rid of me when it suits you. I always assure them that they're doing a good job and they're valued on our team. I meet up with them and let them know what is going well and how they can improve, try to hype them up. Additionally, as a result of this lack of confidence in their role and place on this team, they overwork. They have no boundaries. They will be working at midnight, skipping meals to work to the point that they're literally balled up on the floor crying because they're exhausted and stressed, which leads me to institute a boundary for them and send them home, which makes them feel like they're going to get fired, which leads them to overworking, and on we go. I've taken things off their plate, given them permission to leave when the day is over, insisted they leave when the day is over, made a rule that no one can work after a certain time, etc. I'm out of ideas on how to support them. I can't keep being the person who institutes boundaries for them. Their lack of boundaries for work isn't stopping them from good work, but it is stopping them from feeling and being their best in the office and their life. And I imagine they could do even better work if they weren't always overworked. How can I help them feel valued and embrace work-life balance that we all need?
Did you write this about me?
It's a doozy.
Did you submit this story?
This is my submission. No,
I'm not this bad.
No, I promise.
I definitely used to be. I am this person, or was this person. This person still lives inside of me.
You offer that has worked for you, because you don't do this
anymore. But this person lives inside of me, and I have to have conversations with them every day to like chill out,
So I would say, like, are there things that I did as a leader, or were there things that you did as an individual that could help this person?
Okay, so the number one thing that has worked in this scenario, and I have advised other clients, Clockwork clients, to do the same thing, is like having the tough love conversation of like, you acting like this is going to be the thing that gets you fired.
Right.
Like, the only thing that would ever get you fired is continuing to play into this cycle. And if this cycle doesn't break, I'm going to have to let you go, because it's a detriment to the team and the company culture. So everything that you're afraid, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everything that you're afraid of, you're actually making come true by refusing to like listen to the words that I'm saying, the words that are coming out of my mouth, and instead listening to the lies that your brain is telling you. Because you have said to me before, like, in my early days when I was like a psycho, you have said like, has anyone ever said that to you? Like, what words are we saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
Or versus what stories are you making those words mean?
Right. That's
So
great advice.
I think this
I
is
think
like
having
the
this direct
toughest love.
conversation with that person
Yeah.
about that, right? Like this self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you are not going to get fired for doing a poor job because you do an excellent job, right? Like
Yeah.
you are excellent at your job. I have the utmost trust and faith and support for you. I value you. And you're creating this self-fulfilling prophecy by
Yeah.
acting like this, thinking that I'm always going to fire you. And so how can you get support for that?
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not me,
Yeah.
but maybe you need to see a counselor or go to a therapist or work on some of that stuff from a
Hmm.
personal standpoint because yeah, that's not necessarily just going to go away. You're obviously having these feelings,
Right.
but I can't continue to institute new rules for everyone or boundaries that
Yeah.
because you can't hold them for yourself. Like you have to do that, or that is going to be the thing that gets you fired.
Yeah.
Not you should do more and have no boundaries so that you don't get fired. It's actually the opposite.
Right. Like if you continue to essentially like live against the values and culture that we're trying to create here, that is grounds for termination. Because like the most important
Right.
thing for me is creating a culture that of XYZ, and if you cannot live into that, then I can't have you here.
Right.
And
Like you right now you're creating a culture of everyone
overwhelm,
overworks because they
stress.
see yeah, like
Yeah.
the anxiety of am I doing a good enough job? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's, it's the same, it's also not a cut and dry situation. Like there will be times maybe when we need to work later, everyone needs to like put in a little extra. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the day to day creating this false urgency and this false anxiousness for the entire team because that permeates like like a toxic smoke, like you can't, other people see that and even they're either going to see that and think this person is, it's just they're never going to see that and think, oh, this is great news for me that someone is frantic over here,
Yeah.
So
The other thing I'll add is potentially in that conversation, like if clarifying and defining like really clear expectations of like what
yeah.
is excelling in this role or what is meeting expectations in this role. Maybe they already know that or maybe they don't, but that could give them maybe a tangible like are you doing these things? Like are you meeting these expectations? Then you're doing amazing, right? So let's
Mm-hmm.
not overdo it. Like there should be no reason that you think you're doing a terrible job when you are meeting and exceeding my expectations, so maybe having something more tangible for them to hold on to and to also recognize, maybe you even need to just clarify like when it's beyond, like when it's too much in terms of expectations and like
Mm-hmm.
now you're outside of my expectations, which I don't want. Maybe they need like more structure around that, which would help them kind of settle some of their own anxiety about like I constantly need to be doing more and more and more even though I'm meeting the expectations,
Yeah.
like well if you're meeting the expectations why can't you stop? Like why can't you go home?
Yeah. And most
Why am I finding
organizations,
you curled up in a ball?
right, there's always going to be more to do, always, um but you cannot let that consume you or
Mm-hmm.
you will end up like this,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Tough conversations
Okay.
because you're going to have to tell them the thing that they are most afraid of hearing,
That
that there
you are going to
is,
get fired.
that they are going to get fired, like this is the conversation that this person is terrified of here. These are the words that are going to, but it's like they need to understand that actually is a possibility in this specific scenario and only in this specific scenario. So
Yeah.
stop creating this scenario for yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck. Please give us an update too. I want to hear updates when
Yeah.
we
This one's mandatory.
share these stories, please. Okay, next one. Can my employer fire me for not wearing a bra?
Okay.
I love a
I'll
bra.
hear this one
Okay,
out.
I haven't worn a bra in 5 years. I either free nip it or wear a cami or tank under my clothing for an added layer. This hasn't been an issue with previous employers, as there was typically a thicker short on top for uniform, or yeah, they wore uniforms
Yeah.
in previous work cultures where we weren't customer facing and typically working alone, so no one noticed. I recently started a new job, my first office job. The dress code doesn't list anything about undergarments except that straps can't be showing. Could I legally be required or fired for not wearing a bra? Side note, I typically wear a cardigan, so if it's extra chilly, I can hide any unfortunate nipple outlines.
So, it sounds like this person has not, like, have they had, has someone told them you have to wear a bra, or is she just
No,
planning
I
for a
think
worst
they're
case
just like they
scenario?
read the dress code and they're maybe nervous because,
Yeah.
oh, it doesn't say anything about undergarments. It just sounds like
Yeah.
she's now in her first office, like more professional, kind of corporate-y
Right.
office job, and noticing maybe that everyone else wears bras and she doesn't.
Yeah. Um, mm, I don't
I think
know.
technically, depending on the state that you're in, like in Florida, I could fire you for anything. So
Right.
technically, I could fire you for that, but I don't think most people are going to fire you for that. I think you're creating a problem where there isn't one yet. Like in your head, you're like, oh my God, can I get fired for that? But like, no one said anything to you yet. If someone does say anything to you, I think that's where I would go back to the policy, which states that no straps can be showing, but no straps are
I'm
showing.
not showing any
So
straps.
if they need to change the policy, then that's that's on them. But
But can you
you're
change? Can
not
you have
breaking the policy.
a policy that, like, is
Require someone
only,
to wear a bra.
yeah, that requires them to wear a bra? Like, it has to do with your body, because for some people, wearing a bra versus not wearing a bra, like, not wearing a bra is a non-issue for some people. You'd never know.
Like me.
Yeah. Whereas, like, you'll tell if I'm not wearing a bra, right? So it's you know. Also, I could never not wear a bra. I cannot even
Yeah.
imagine walking outside of my house without a bra on. Like, could never be me. But
I
to
feel
each
like this
their own.
person is probably more like me.
Right. Then I don't think that there's anything. I mean,
There's nothing wrong with this.
no. And honestly, are they going to start banning goosebumps if we're cold? Like, who cares if you can see a nipple?
Right.
Like,
Like who
it's
cares?
a,
You can see my nipple through my bra.
yeah, you can see my nipple through my bra. Like, I just don't understand. I mean, to each their own. Like you said, in some states, you can fire someone for whatever reason you want. But I don't think that they can force you to implement undergarments as part of a dress code.
Also, like most of the bras that I wear are like just like very thin, like
Like a cami,
almost
like a shelf bra,
like
you
a
know?
cami. Like it's
Yeah, like a bralette.
yeah, like it's not even like a real bra. Like it
Right.
doesn't have any support. It doesn't have any underwire. So you absolutely, like if my nipples get cold, like you can still see it through the shirt because there's
Yeah.
not really much. It's just like a slight layer of support, but
Right.
it's not like a real bra even. So I just feel like there's no way for them to even know and ask you about this in an
Right.
appropriate way.
No.
Because for all they know, you could be wearing a bra and it's just a very thin bra or something,
Yeah.
Like,
I think this person is creating a problem where there isn't one, to be honest.
yeah.
And unfortunately, not wearing a bra is, can be, I think some people view that as like a radical thing. And the only way to change that is by more people just not wearing bras. So do you.
Right.
But just don't make it, you don't make a deal out of it. There's nothing to
Just
talk
do you.
about here, you know?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck.
All right. Last story.
Okay.
I was told to say business decision instead of layoff.
Hmm.
Did we do this already or no?
No.
Have I just read it so many times?
I think you've read it so many times, yeah.
Okay. My department was given a budget for which we needed to cut a certain number of people whose salaries would add up to at least that number for cost savings.
Oh, excellent.
Yikes. Depending on seniority, it would come out to 1 to 3 people. I am not the department head, but I am the unofficial second in command, which is how I know this. Despite having just given them a very positive performance review, one of my reports was selected to be let go as part of this cost savings. I was instructed by both the department head and HR not to use the word layoff and simply say this was a business decision in the conversation where I notified this employee. Isn't this scenario essentially the definition of a layoff? Wondering the reasoning behind that request, since it's literally a layoff.
Yeah, it's a lay. I don't understand. Are they trying to save face and not be a company that was required to do layoffs?
Right, like maybe they're trying to, something with PR or potentially with severance.
Investors.
Like usually with a layoff, you also give a severance package. So maybe with like a business decision,
right?
they're like kind of lumping it into you're not performing,
like a
or,
restructure.
Yeah.
We're restructuring the team. I've heard that one a lot. When
I think it's really
semantics, if you ask me. It's like
semantics. It's annoying that they're specifically like it's actually really fishy to me that they're specifically asking you not to use that word. Like it makes me think that it's either like a PR thing or a legal thing of them trying to create more cost savings, and maybe something they would have to pay or do if this was technically a layoff versus like this was a business decision. Like maybe it's an ego thing. Like maybe it makes them feel better about themselves. Like, oh, this was just a business decision versus a layoff.
Right. Because I feel like the easiest pill for me to swallow would actually be getting laid off. Because then I'm like, it has nothing to do with like my work per se. It's the company's struggling. So, which I guess would have something to do with my work, but it's like some of those factors are out of your control. So just getting laid off because the economy sucks, it's like, okay. But getting let go because of like a business decision means you specifically chose me as someone you don't value versus a mass or like a sweep layoff. You know what I mean? It feels more personal this way.
Yeah, so like why say that to the people?
Right.
Usually you want the conversation, especially if this person just got like a positive performance review. I can understand from this person's perspective why they're uncomfortable like having this conversation with their direct report.
Yeah.
And they just gave them like a glowing performance review, and now they have to tell them this is a business decision versus saying it's a layoff. Like that would be really uncomfortable as a manager.
Yeah.
What would you do if you were this person's manager? Would you defy HR and just tell them like
I would say if you want
wink wink, it's a layoff. Like
I would say if you want me to lie in this meeting, then it's above my pay grade and my manager can do it.
Yeah. I like that approach. Or like you can be there and do it.
Yeah.
And
if I'm the unofficial, wait, hold on. If I'm not the department head and I'm the unofficial second in command, then I'm not even having this meeting. Someone else is.
It's like it's one of their reports, but they're not officially.
That would be like, just for specifics, it's not anything personal, but that would be like Gabby letting go someone. It's like that's not her. It's her report, but that's not her. Her job is not that. That's my job or your job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would be like, no, I'm not doing this. If you want to do this and you want to word salad it, then it's going to the department head.
Right.
Okay, bye. And they can.
The HR, the department head needs to do the business decision firing.
Because then what if they say, if they come back and say, oh, am I getting laid off then? You're supposed to lie to them and say, no, it's a business decision.
It's a business decision. So what if they ask you to be like, well, what's the difference between that and a layoff? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a business decision to lay me off.
Yeah.
Like, got it.
I get it.
Yeah.
So what is my severance package for this layoff? Yeah.
So I don't know. It seems weird. I wouldn't do it personally because it's above my pay grade.
Yeah. Being like, sounds like the department head needs to do that.
Yeah. Cool. Well.
Or someone needs to explain to me why we're using the word
business decision
instead of layoff.
Yeah. What are other words I can use? How do I clarify what that means when they come back and ask me questions, Because they're going to. Because it makes no sense. It's confusing.
For real.
Yeah.
All right, that's all the stories we got today.
That's it. That's all. I will.
That's it. That's all. Please go follow
Yeah.
our podcast on whatever podcast listener you're using so that
Mhm.
every week you can see when the new episodes come out.
Yep.
Would also love for you to share this episode with someone else if you found it entertaining, helpful, like
Useful.
something that needs to be talked about more, you know.
Mhm.
And if you have a story, we would love for you to submit it. You can go to dearworkwives.com. Tell us what's going on in your business world so we can share it with others and give you some feedback.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.